Hey, everybody. Had a question come up on a call. We were doing a training yesterday for a vertical pilot that we're rolling out with the lawyer information. Want to do a quick follow up on some of the lyrics that I shared on that call. I was asked if I could record that. I actually have a training deck that supports some of the verbiage that I was using yesterday, and I wanted to kind of go through this deck just to give you the mentality and the mindset behind why I'm saying what I'm saying. So what can I say to make someone want to meet with us? First and foremost, you've got to build, your muscles and the conviction that you have. So the first thing we've got to do is prep like crazy. We have to talk to your DASM about the account or about what's going on in the marketplace with other accounts that do the same thing. Look at their ad on and offline. Look at their marketing across the board. What I'm looking for when I'm looking at people's marketing online and offline is I'm looking for consistency. Marketing 101 is supposed to be consistent across all platforms. What we tend to find is that marketing becomes inconsistent on the digital marketing platform. People have TV, radio, they have other forms of marketing, but they start to become inconsistent online because a lot of the vendors that we compete with tell them that we've got it covered, right? We've got proprietary technology that takes care of all that. Please don't give me your input. So it's really important to make sure that you're looking at their other marketing and you're starting to find ways where they're being a lot more convicted in their selling and making sure that they have a lot more call to action in their offline marketing. And when you look at their online marketing, it's going to be kind of lackluster. It's going to be a little bit weak most of the time. And that's something that we're going to kind of hit on during our call. The next thing is I'm going to look at their ads online and see if they're good, right? We're in an age right now where people go online. When they do their Google search, they already know what they're going to buy. When they do the search, they know they're buying it. The only thing they don't know is who they're going to buy it from. I've been drawing the similarities to like a grocery list. When you write milk on that grocery list, you already know you're buying milk. You just don't know which bottle until you get to the grocery store. And we all do the same thing, right? We go to the grocery store, we go to the milk section. We start looking at the lines of milk and which one we're going to get, what percentage, what color, what brand. And then we all even go a step further in comparing all the different milks, and we look in the line that we finally choose from, and then we compare those to each other, and we look for the one with the best date, right? So we're always comparing the options. But the trick is that we already knew we were buying milk when we wrote it on the list. Now we're looking for the best milk possible. And that's the same thing that's happening with Google, with Google searches and people shopping online, is that they already know they need the service. They're just looking for the best option possible to provide it. So if our ads are not the most obvious choice to provide that service or that product in the marketplace, there's a big gap there, and we know we can fill it. And then I check SpyFood just to see what other people are spending in the marketplace. It's not 100% accurate, but it gives me a good idea of who the players are. It does tell me who's spending money and who's pretty aggressive, but you're going to see that play out online as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm really just building up my conviction. Because I have to know that I've got information that if I share it with them, they're going to make more money, especially when it comes to talking to somebody that's spending money online. They're already doing their part. They're giving money to a digital partner. I've got to come up with all the reasons why they should give it to me instead. I'm going to change the name on the check. By doing that, before I can do that, I've got to really build my conviction up. So I'm going to make myself feel unstoppable, because when I go in and I meet with this prospect, I can only sell the sit. I can't sell any of the things that I just learned, right? I've got to build my conviction so that I'm so certain that I can help this business, that it's going to help me sell that appointment, the sit. That's it. We're not selling product yet. We're just selling the sit. So as we go into this, the next thing, step 3, we've got all that data and information, and it's going to be counterintuitive to what you think, but you can't say anything. You can't tell them about it. You can say nothing. So what gets you the appointment here is not the data that you have. It's actually building intrigue. And why do I say that? Because the data that you have, as passionate and convicted as you might be, is that being able to help a business owner, you have zero relationship with that business owner at this point. You haven't done a needs assessment or found out what their pain points are, or started to look like you have the solution to fix the pain points that they already have. You don't know what they are yet, and you're not going to be able to build a relationship in that 30-second window when you first walk in. So trying to go in and sell product or even sell the information that you have and share it with them is probably not going to be the best use of the research that you did or the time that you spent. What we've got to do is start to create some intrigue and not tell them the things that we know, but make them feel like we know something, right? So when we go in to set the appointment, we're not going to use data with this process. We're going to use intrigue. And I liken this to something that always drove us crazy, right? Anytime somebody has information, that they say they have it, but they can't tell us. Or you think back to even grade school when somebody played the game, I know something you don't know. They might have said something first thing in the morning, I know something you don't know, and not tell you what it is. And it drives you crazy all day, and you get to lunch and you're like, hey, what's that thing? And they're not telling you. It used to drive you absolutely crazy. It's the one thing you could think about for the entire day was, I need to know what that person knows. And that's the idea that we want to get through to that business owner, is that we have valuable information and we're not going to tell you until you exchange an hour. We need to trade that information for an hour, because we're not just information fairies. We can't just run around to businesses and give them all of our information and expect to get anything in return, because we're not using it to the best of our ability. We have that information and we're willing to trade it for an hour. So how do we build those lyrics? How do we create that intrigue to make a business owner want to meet with us? When I learned how to come up with prospecting lyrics, I was taught to build a lyric sandwich. And there's a few components to that. We start off with credibility, and then we go into care, and then we have some action for them, and then we try to relieve the pressure to give them the feeling of ease so that they want to proceed with meeting with us for an hour. Remember, we're not selling product, we're selling a sit, we're selling the meeting, we're selling the webinar. So the first thing we have to do is build enough credibility in the fact that we're there and then we're somebody that they should meet with. So the first thing that I start off by saying is that I work with others in this market and in this industry, and I'll even name drop quite a bit. Right out the gate, I'll say, hi, my name's Scott. Nice to meet you. I was just over by Charlie's office. I've been working with him for years. Do you know him? It's Rooter Plus. Been doing business with him for years. And they may know them, they may not. You say, listen, I handle all their digital marketing. And I was in the neighborhood. I was just driving by and wanted to stop by because we're experts in the space. And I've have a few ideas. I took a look at, your online marketing, and we go into care right now. So I looked at your online marketing, and it's great to see that you're using the internet as a tool to get new clients. Obviously, it's 2019, and that is the place that you can go to get a ton of new clients, right? That's where everybody spends their time. But, I did find a few things that really need your attention. There's small changes that can make a huge impact on your return on investment. And it's the money that you're currently spending. It's just minor tweaks that you can make to your campaigns that could really help you make a lot more money. And it's things that we do with our clients to really help them get a better return on their investment. Now, whether you buy from us or not, these changes are going to make a huge impact on your return on investment. So I'm starting to relieve the pressure for them that what I want to do is I want to spend an hour with you and share these things. And whether you buy from me or not, I'm going to share the things that are going to help you make more money. And at the end of that time, hopefully we'll be able to do business. But what I'm doing here is I'm making sure that I'm giving them enough information to want to meet with me, but I'm not telling them what those things are. Sometimes the prospect's going to say, okay, I'll meet with you. Sometimes they're going to push back, right? Sometimes they're going to push back. And most of the time when they do, they say, what are the things, right? They always want to know what the things are. And this is where you've got to really keep your conviction and not being able to give them too much to give them something to fight back on, because there's a lot of times where we don't have the relationship and we don't know what their pain points are. And we don't know where they're at with some of the problems that we found. So we don't want to just start spitballing some of this stuff. But we do have an out, right? We can say, listen, I just left my appointment with Charlie. I'm on my way to my next appointment. Maybe you even know who this person is. You could drop their name as well. And I'd like to spend some more time. I found these few things that'll make a significant difference. But before our meeting, I want to spend some more time, and I can guarantee you I'll find more of them. And this is where you can talk about your digital specialist, where you're going to sit down with Brandy or Kim or whoever it is you work with, and you're going to spend some time figuring out some more opportunities for them to really increase their return on investment. But there's some major things that you just saw at a glance when you were driving by, wanted to stop by and introduce myself. There's some major things that I saw at a glance that, could really impact your return on investment if you make these changes. And like I said, happy to sit with you and spend some time going over these things, whether you buy from me or not. These are things that are going to help you make more money online. Yesterday, this conversation came up when we were talking about the lawyer vertical. And, there's just more credibility that we've got now with the lawyer vertical that we can allude to, but we don't necessarily want to give them all the data out front. So talking about how we have 5,000 lawyer campaigns, clients right now that we've learned from over time. And we have proven information that we can show you that our clients are getting a better return on their investment with us than they are with other vendors in the marketplace. And it's extremely important for you as you're approaching the internet to get new customers to take advantage of every efficiency possible. And there's some really good ways that we can do that and help you with. And I'd be happy to share those with you on that meeting. So you're constantly going back to the trade, and the trade is always going to be, until we get the actual sit, we're just trying to trade for the meeting. If you're not willing to give me an hour in many cases, I'd have to come back, or I'd have to keep working on you, or maybe it's just somebody that's not going to meet with you. But I'm not willing to trade up my information that's going to make you more money for just absolutely nothing. You've got to give me that hour of time. So, hopefully these slides really tied together and put some color on the methodology and the mentality that I'm going with when I try to schedule an appointment with somebody. But it's always around, I have information, I'm an expert in the field, I have things that would really, really help you make more money with the investment that you're already making. And I'm happy to trade them for just the meeting. Whether you do business with me or not, these things are going to help you make money. So at the end of that hour, you're going to have some information that's going to help you make more money with the investment that you're already making. And that's the key. So give this a shot. It's worked for me in the past and a lot of other people that have had a ton of success in the digital space. Just making sure that you're not necessarily sharing all the information that you came up with, but alluding to the fact that you've got it, and you do, because you've got that conviction built up from all that prep work. You've got some information that's really going to help them make more money, and you're willing to trade it for that hour. So give that a shot. Let me know how you make out. Thanks, everybody.